The making of a scone, part 2. Welcome back. Sorry about that. As I was showing you, when we were interrupted, we had the scone, we had cut off these two end pieces, and I had fitted back on. And then I took my wire cutters and I took them at an angle to the scone and cut off just the tip of that because it was actually a little longer than this one. And now they're just about the same size, same length. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this back inside once again. And I'm going to take my trusty wire cutters and I'm going to put an even more of an angle on this end of this scone. And when you do that, that pushes that together and it seals it. And you can take a file. I don't have my regular file I would use for this right now. Or you can take your Dremel and you could just go over that. And if you like, you can drop some crazy glue down in it on the inside and then take a clothespin. After you do that, put it on the end of it and it will hold it together and keep it together. Or you can take your needle nose pliers. Now, these are a little wide for this, but you can take your needle nose pliers if you have some that have a smaller nose on them and stick them inside there and just see if I can get these in there. They're a little wide. Yep. Leave it to me to drop it. The way I've got the camera angled, where I've got it sitting, is kind of hard. I've got to hold everything in order for you to really see it out here and not actually up on my desk, and so it makes it a little bit harder. If you can get that in there, if you have a smaller needle nose plier, like I said, and just squeeze that together on that end. Works out great. And there you have it. You have your scone, or your scounts, as some people say. A little bit of metal there. Okay. And then you take it, you put it back on. And you have your scone or your clearance light. Now, you paint that silver, or yours probably won't be primed. All of mine is the old siding that I use, and so it's primed white, which is kind of good for me when I want to paint something. But you can paint that silver, or you can paint it black, whatever color you want it. And you've got a scones. Now, like I said, you put that inside, turn it over, you see it right there, and you just take your screwdriver, as I said, you put it in, and you twist it. I'm not going to do it real hard because, like I said, now that I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and strip it down and repaint it and prepare it for a motor. Don't know what motor I'm going to put in it yet, but you turn it, and as you can see, won't fall out. Now, what I did mention is if you want this one that you've just made to look like this, you just take your Dremel and your cutting wheel, and be careful not cut all the way down into it, but cut you a notch, one right here and one right here, and you have your scone. You can make it a little more perfect than that. You can cut a little more off this backside on the top, get a little more angle on it. You can cut up if you need to, just a little bit higher when you cut in under your round part where you made your bend in your cut, to cut that down, or you can leave it like it is. I think it's great. Is it perfect? No. Will it work? Yes. And having done this, you can even do as Marx did. As you can see right here, maybe you can't see it, but this is a little green piece of plastic. You can take a piece of clear plastic. Once you've got this folded down, folded over, locked in place, and you can glue a piece of plastic on here and color it, get this, with a permanent marker, a green permanent marker, and you will get the same effect that you get coming out of here. Now, what I did on the U.S. Army engine, I wanted mine filled, and so what I did was I took both of the ones that I built, I had to make two of them, and I filled mine with hot glue. I shot hot glue up in them, and then I smoothed it off on both of them, and I took the magic marker or the permanent marker and I turned them into green lenses. Either way, the other way, just taking a piece of plastic film, putting it under the bottom side, is a lot easier. But you can do it either way. If you don't have any plastic and you wanted to do it, just cut you a piece of good old sellotape. After you get that folded over, you take the sellotape, put across it, clean it real good with a swab with some alcohol. Clean it real good. Let it dry. Put the sellotape on there, and then paint the sellotape green. Either way, it'll work. And that will get you a clearance light for your Canadian Pacifics. And it will cost you absolutely nothing except the time that it took for you to do it. And it may take you as long as it took me just to show you that this evening, but normally you can do that in about 10 minutes of your time. Well, as I said, this video was an information video for those of you who are interested, and it was suggested by Kent Poole. And Ken, if you're watching, buddy, there you go. That's how you do it. If you have any other questions, please feel free to shoot me an email at gman1924@hotmail.com. We have another video coming up soon, and I'll probably come back with a video on this engine as I progress on it or once I get it finished. For now, as always, if you have as much fun working on your trains and running them as I do, then you should have happy rails. Until next time.